without a vision, you're really just drifting, right? Like you might look productive, it might feel like you're making progress, but if you don't actually know where it is that you're going, what it is that you want, you're literally just that. You're literally just busy doing nothing. If your lifestyle stayed the same for the next 10 years, would that be enough for you? I feel like most people are, they're working hard, they're checking off all the boxes, they're staying busy, but they haven't taken the time to be intentional about what it is that they really want in life. They're living on autopilot, they're chasing someone else's definition of success, and really they're just hoping that one day everything just clicks and it works out for them. And so if you've been drifting, you feel stuck, and you're just unsure of your next move, this conversation might just change your direction. This episode is all about vision. And I'm not talking about the kind you scribble down and you glance at once a year. I'm talking about the kind that reorients your life. In this episode, this is going to help you guys design the life that you guys want with intention and not by default. So when I first heard of the concept of, kind of vision constructing and really planning things out, as far as seeing where you're wanting to go, it was very vast to me. It was very not necessary. I'm a guy who, if I have my mind on something, if there's something that I want, I just kind of go for it. And I just move with action. I don't do a lot of planning and foreshadowing or anything like that. I kind of just go until I get it. And I've always been that way. And to me, that's a gift and a curse, right? Because it does help me just kind of just go and move forward. But it also hinders my results, because without actual vision planning and kind of seeing where it is I'm going and what I'm wanting, I can prolong the process or I can shorten the process, right? And so, by me really casting out what that vision looks like, I can kind of alter, or I guess slow down those speed bumps that I would run into, because I would be planning for things that are potentially going to happen in the future. And so I think vision casting, vision building, however you want to phrase it, is super important, because again, it allows you to really kind of see where it is that you're going, and then obviously you can foreshadow or foretell any type of events that may impede your progress. But when I first heard about it, I was just like, sounds cool, but how do we get to the money? What do I need to do right now to get going? You know what I'm saying? What's the first actionable step that I can take to do what I need to do to get to where I'm going? I don't really have time to be writing out oh, this is where I want to go, and this is what I didn't really care about all that. I just wanted to get to the end result, and that was my mindset in the beginning. And now, obviously, being a little bit more into where I'm at now, it's you definitely have to know where it is that you're going. Otherwise, you could be taking so many different turns and different directions that lead you farther away from the results that you want. And so it's just really good to have a clear path as to where you're going. Living without a vision is tiresome, right? It's cumbersome. Because I personally was just in a mode of chasing. I was always chasing money. I was chasing opportunities. And I was thinking that by me doing those things, me taking action, that I was moving myself forward. But in reality, I kind of felt like I was staggering my progress, which really didn't need to be the case, because if I knew exactly what I had wanted, or at least the vision of where I wanted to go at the time, I could have sidestepped all of those, situations, circumstances, opportunities that may have hindered my progress at the time. But again, it had me leading to chasing money, chasing titles, trying to get the advances or the raises as soon as possible. But I still felt empty. I still felt like I had no idea what I was doing, where I was going, even though in the back of my mind, I knew what I wanted for the most part in a broad sense, right? I knew I wanted to make more money. I knew I wanted to be out of debt. I knew those types of things, but there was never a clear-cut vision or route as to okay, here's the destination. This is the things that line up for me in these particular areas that I want in life. Here's my path to getting them. Go, right? It was kind of just Oh, you want more money? Okay, great. Go for it. But we never define how much more money do you want? What kind of job do you want? What kind of titles do you want? Like, we never really defined any of those. It was just kind of like, once we get there, then we'll figure it out as we get there. But as I continued on that particular path, I just realized I was just getting further and further away from where I actually wanted to get to, the results that I really wanted to have. And, in the book on chapter 4, there's an exercise that I have you guys do at the end where it talks about writing out your perfect day. And I learned this process from, again, other mentors that I was learning from and that had been in the shoes of where I was. And so I put this in the book because I wanted to really make sure that you guys had an actionable plan, a step that you guys can utilize to get you on the right path right away. And so the perfect day kind of breaks down like this, right? So you're literally just going to write out, what does your perfect day look like? Like, if you had no holds barred, there was nothing else holding you back, you literally had the world at your fingertips. What would that perfect day look like? And this is what really helped me clarify what really mattered to me and what didn't. And it helped me really shortcut the route of like, okay, I know these certain things I want or I would like to have, but they're not as important as A, B, and C that I just listed out here in my perfect day. So where things kind of gave me more clarity was when I did what's called the perfect day exercise, which I have that in chapter 4 and one of the actionable steps that you guys can actually do for yourself. But it helped me eliminate and mitigate the things that I thought were important to me in my life, or versus the things that were super actually important to me in my life. And so you guys can do this for yourselves as well. But I just remember like being able to write out my perfect day, and it really just kind of, I don't know, sped up the process or sped up the vision as far as like, oh, okay, these are the things that are most important to me. Like, if I was able to do this every day, like, these would be the most important things that I would construct in my calendar and my everyday life that I would want to have and be able to do each and every day. And the things that don't make that everyday list are still important, but they're not something that I have to put any more thought or process to until I've obtained or completed, the items that were in my perfect day. So as you guys know, I love to give you guys takeaways and actionable steps when you guys listen to the podcast, because again, I can sit here and talk for hours, but unless you guys have an actual plan of being able to implement something in your life, we all know nothing changes. So the first takeaway is that without a vision, you're really just drifting, right? Like, you might look productive. It might feel like you're making progress, but if you don't actually know where it is that you're going, what it is that you want, you're literally just that. You're literally just busy doing nothing. You're like, it's like running on a treadmill. You're not really going anywhere, right? Versus running out in the city or in the street. You're moving somewhere, right? So it's kind of that same concept. So don't get yourselves focused on, oh, well, I'm staying busy. I'm doing all these different tasks, and I'm making these progresses in these different areas. Are you really though? Like, are you really making progress towards the things that you want? Or are you a hamster in a hamster wheel? And it feels like you're making progress because you're working, 10, 12 hours a day, right? But you're not really moving towards what it is that you say that you want. And I believe, and I felt this, I've always felt this for the longest time up until recent, that life will hand you a script if you don't create your own. Like, if you don't visualize, if you don't write out what it is that you want, if you don't have a plan or a process for where it is that you're going, life, trust me, will hand you one, and you won't like it, because it's going to give you the runaround. It's going to make you take 12 steps backwards before you can get a step forward. It's going to put you in a different direction or a life that you never wanted for yourself, that you never intended for yourself. And this is where things like depression comes into place, and stress and overwhelm, and you just feel like you're, again, a hamster in a hamster wheel. You're not really making any progress towards the life that you want for yourself, right? And I think vision is very much of an internal compass. It is very much obviously a directional pad for you to really ensure that you achieve the things that you want to achieve. And it brings not only direction, but it brings meaning. How many times have you guys gone back and forth in your head about, is this what life has for me? I know I'm meant for more. I don't really know what that looks like. I want to be successful, but I really haven't defined it, right? And then when all of a sudden you do the work and you do define what success looks like, and you do figure out what your purpose or your passion is, or what comes easy for you, doesn't it feel so much more easier? Doesn't life feel so much more like lighter? Like, don't you feel like you have meaning? Like you actually know, like, oh my God, like this is my direction. Like this feels aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing, with who I am. Like it just feels aligned. When I do my podcast, when I'm in creative mode, I'm in more alignment than I ever am in any other area of my life. Like, because I wouldn't say that it comes easy, but it just feels so natural. It feels fun. Time eludes me. 12 hours go by, and I'm just like still energetic. I remember times when I was writing my book, and it was 1:00 in the morning. I'm like, I had to force myself to go to bed because I'm like, I got to get some sleep. But I was having so much fun. I was enjoying the process of writing. I was enjoying the process of creating a book. And so having a vision for yourself sheds light, and it also gives you like meaning as to where you're headed and what it is that you want in life. And so if you guys have done this before, where you're like, oh, I've tried to write down the vision thing, I end up writing it out, and then it gets stuck into a book, and I don't see the book, and then it collects dust. Like, do it again. Do it again. And, we're going to talk about doing your perfect day exercise, but really put some intent in creating the vision for yourself, and like post it everywhere. Put it on your refrigerator, make copies of it, put it on your screensaver, on your computer, put it on your phone, have reminders to look at it every single day. Look at it before you go to bed. Look at it when you wake up. Same thing with your goals. Do the same thing. Like, create more intention around what it is that you want, because when you do that, it creates more focus, and that obviously drives, the actionable steps to go get it every single day, because you're reminding yourself of exactly what it is that you want, and how you're going to go about doing it. The second takeaway that I would tell you guys is designing your life is your responsibility. It is no one else's responsibility to figure life out for you. Your parents are not going to be there to figure life out for you. They were there to help guide you in the beginning. And as you became an adult, hopefully you guys became an adult, that it is now your turn. It is now your responsibility to design the life that you want. Do not look for external circumstances to do so, because I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. It's not coming. Your boss is not going to sit you down and be like, hey, I see you doing this, this, and this. You'd be great at this, this, and this. Let's figure out how do we get you there. Some bosses might do that. Very unlikely, right? Family members, anyone, they're not going to design the life that you want. Only you can do that for yourself. Only I can do that for myself. Only my kids can do that for themselves, right? Like, take the initiative and really create and design the life out, because only you know what you want, right? Only you know what drives you, what motivates you. Only you know what fills your cup, what makes you excited, brings you joy, brings you peace, brings you calmness. Like, only you know that. So what better person to develop that process and to script out that life than you? You got to be the one to take responsibility to do that. Because I'm telling you right now, no one's coming to do it for you. Not your boss, not your parents, no one. No one's coming to do it for you. And most people avoid vision because deep down they believe that they don't deserve more. Like, most people don't write out goals because they believe they have so many limiting beliefs. They don't believe that it's obtainable. They've never seen any evidence of them being able to achieve that goal, let alone big goals, right? They don't believe that they have the skills, that it's not meant for them. They were born into the wrong family. It's the wrong time. Whatever excuses people want to use, they avoid them because deep down they have their own limiting beliefs about their ability to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. And I'm telling you right now, like, you guys are just as worthy of your purpose and freedom as anyone else. If you guys look at people that you guys follow on social media, and people, actors, and people who make a crap ton of money, or they have the lives that you want, or they have the relationships that you want, you deserve that just as much as that person does. The difference is that person believed in who they were, believed in who they are, believed that they deserved more, and took action to go get whatever it is they want. Versus you might be the person that, again, creates the excuses, has the limiting beliefs, doesn't take action, therefore still stays in the same life that you are currently living. So those folks that are achieving the things or have the things or have become the person that you would like to become, you're no different. You have the same abilities for the most part, right? You have the same opportunities. And if you don't, create them, make them. There's nothing holding you back other than yourself from doing exactly what it is that you want to do. But if you don't believe that you're deserving of those things in that life, no one else is going to tell you that you are, and no one else is going to do it for you, right? So you got to stand up for yourself and do that. And the third and final takeaway is creating your perfect day. Okay. So I'm going to describe the exercise there to you. That way you guys have like a blueprint of knowing how to do it for yourself. Otherwise, if you guys get the book, you guys can read literally step by step on how to create it. But I'll share with you guys kind of what my perfect day looked like when I first did this. So, and again, I want you guys to, this is not about fantasy. Okay. Don't write down that you guys want to go to the moon on Saturday and then like on Sunday, you're going to like, come on now. Like, let's just be a little bit realistic. All right. This is more so about building clarity. Okay. Building clarity. Okay. So these are realistic things that you would like to do on a perfect day that you would do literally every day. Okay. So you're going to write out a full day of your ideal life. Start from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to bed. Okay. What are you doing? How you feel? Who are you with? Like literally everything you can think of. Okay. Because the vision becomes real when you put it in detail, when you put it in writing, when you look at it every day. Okay. So give you an example. My ideal day would be me waking up to a beautiful woman, right? Someone that I'm in love with, and we share the same vision and clarity and all that stuff, right? And then my feet hit the ground, and then as I already do now, I pray. So I'll pray, and then when I get up, done from praying, I go and I make my coffee, and I journal for, 30 minutes to an hour, whatever I feel needs to be said in that moment. Then from there, I'll make myself breakfast, take a shower, and then really the first part of my day is hitting my whiteboard. So I have like this, I'm probably like obviously in my house, and I have this big office with this view of the mountains or city view or just some nice view, right? With a lot of light coming in. And I'm really just playing on my whiteboards. And so I love writing out like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, what do I want to create next? What's the next plan of action? What am I currently working on? What are the next steps for that? Like whatever it is on my whiteboard, I love just detailing out step processes and procedures. Is super fun to me. From there, I hop in my McLaren and I go to my podcast studio where I film, obviously my podcast. I have a photo shoot, my assistant's helping me out with the photo shoot or photographer or whatever. And we're doing that for social media, from my websites, whatever those photo shoots are. So I'm doing that. And then, my assistant's talking to me about, hey, you have this book trip coming up to where you're going to be giving these talks or these seminars, or you're going to be hosted on someone else's podcast. They want you to fly in, give this talk, whatever. Right. And then, so I'm doing that. And then, this is all in the same day. Right. So then maybe I fly out in a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever it is. And then, I come home, and then me and my wife, we go to lunch or we go to dinner, and we plan out, okay, what are our next steps? What do we want next for ourselves? Do we want to take a trip? Are we planning opening up another business? How are we helping each other? What can you help me with to implement in my business to make it more effective, more efficient? Vice versa, and then it's just at the end of the day, like it's just relaxing, and I'm at the house or wherever I'm at, and I'm just present. Like for me, that would be my perfect day, right? So like that being in creative mode for me gives me so much joy. I feel in so much alignment when I'm in creative mode, writing a book, writing on a whiteboard, just creating a podcast, editing, whatever, anything creative mode for me, I'm in alignment. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Because through that, I'm serving others. So for you guys, I want you guys to do the same exact thing. Literally write out who you're going to be with, how you're going to feel, what you're doing day by day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So here are my thoughts in closing. I want to leave you guys with a question, and that is, are you creating your life by design or by default? Are you creating your life through your own vision, your own eyes, your own wants, or are you taking what life is giving you? Because I can tell you, for me, I was taking what life was giving me for a very long time, where I was just taking what I was given, and I wasn't actively designing it. How do I want this to go? What do I want this to look like? Who do I want in my life? Who am I going to learn from, right? So you guys need to answer that question for yourself. And I do want to remind you guys that clarity is the first step to change. You guys have to have clarity, understanding. Where are you going? What is that you want? Who are you? Who do you want to become? How do you want to speak? How do you want to act? How do you want to feel? Gain clarity. And the best way to do that is to write that out and then read that every single day. Remind yourself of that every single day, because writing it out and then putting it in a book somewhere and then forgetting about it is not going to bring you guys any closer to where you want to be. It's a constant reminder of what you guys are wanting for yourselves out of life. And as always, in closing, I do want to encourage you guys to purchase my new book, Conscious Living, Wake Up and Start Taking Control of Your Life. It is available on Amazon. The link is in the show notes. Really have you guys dive deeper into chapter 4. That way you guys can start planning out your perfect day, visioning for yourself the life that you do want to have. DM me the word vision on IG at Michael_A_Benton. I definitely will respond to hearing about your guys' vision and what your perfect day looks like. And again, if this episode has made the slightest shift there for you in your life, there's always someone out there else that is needing that same shift. And so please feel free to share this. That way someone else can gain clarity for themselves. As I always say, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.